Good evening. My name is Lauren Ewing, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to identify the signs of a stroke. When most of us think about stroke, we think about something that happens to old people and maybe causes some paralysis and, we're not really sure what it is. The fact of the matter is that a stroke can happen to anyone of any age. Stroke is the #1 cause of disability in the U.S. today, and it's the #3 cause of death. Back in the summer of 1979, I was working in the garden with my grandmother and her sister. And her sister went in the house saying that she felt kind of dizzy and her hand was going out on her and she needed to go lie down for a minute and then, she'd be back out. Well, about 45 minutes later, she could not sit up by herself on the sofa, nor could she speak properly. We got her to the hospital right away, and she ended up using a walker for the rest of her life. Just this past summer, a family friend of ours, a very healthy 52-year-old man, was having a party and actually suddenly dropped his beer and looked confused and was not speaking properly. His wife had just graduated with her BSN from George Mason University, and she performed the exercise that I'm going to tell you about this evening, identified that her husband was having a stroke, got him to the hospital right away, and he's actually made a pretty full recovery and he's back to work. So there are ways that you can mitigate the damage of a stroke if you know what it is that you're looking for. And so this evening, I hope to leave you with exactly what you need to know in order to save a life. So what we're going to cover are the ways that you can spot a stroke and see the symptoms that may be occurring, how you can validate that that is in fact what's happening, and then we're going to continue to reiterate time and the importance of time and the need to act as quickly as possible. So how do you know if someone's having a stroke? Symptoms include a sudden onset of inability to speak or comprehend what's being said, the inability to kind of retain your balance and walk properly and maintain your equilibrium and your stability, the sudden inability to see in one or both eyes, and sudden paralysis that occurs in the limbs or in the face, and usually just on one side. So if you see those symptoms, again, suddenly occur in someone, and it doesn't matter the age or where you are or what the situation is, if you see those symptoms suddenly occur in someone, I want you to try to remember an acronym called FAST. So first is F, facial. Ask the person if they can smile. Can they smile normally? Do they smile and one side of their face droops a bit or it just doesn't work right? That may be a sign of stroke. The next test, A, arms. Ask the person to hold their arms up straight. Are they able to do that? Or does one arm droop? Or are they only able to raise one arm in the first place? Next, S, speech. Ask the person to either repeat something that you're saying to them or ask them to say something that they should know, like their complete address, maybe the Lord's Prayer or the Pledge of Allegiance, something that they should know. See if they're able to do that or if they slur their words or have difficulty with that. Last is T, time. Time is absolutely critical. When you see these kinds of symptoms in someone and you think it may be stroke for whatever reason, you need to get medical attention as quickly as possible. Either call 911 or get that person to a hospital. There are medical treatments that can be applied within the first 3 hours of the onset of symptoms that will dramatically mitigate the damage that can be caused by stroke. So what I would like for you to remember this evening is the sudden onset of symptoms with the inability to speak, to see, to function. I want you to remember FAST, facial, arms, speech, and then time, and act very quickly. The faster you act, the more you can mitigate the damage. This is a situation where any one of us can take action, any one of us can identify this, and any one of us can save a life.